Thanks, Sarah, for the introduction. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Su Yi. I'm the Program Development Manager for California Capital. We're very excited to be hosting a virtual marketplace for the first time during the Small Business Success Series. And I think the idea behind the marketplace, as Sarah has explained, is the fact that we've actually been doing in-person marketplace before the pandemic hits. And to give you a little bit more context and to hear from somebody who's been hitting the ground running with the marketplace, I would like to invite Sophia Kanan, the Director of Women Business Center, to give us a little bit more history and context. Sophia?
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for being here. The marketplace is something that we have always looked forward to every year. As Sarah mentioned, we held 2 a year. The one that we would do during May, which is in light of National Small Business Month, we would have somewhere upward of 70 vendors in attendance, showcasing their products and services to the community. It was B2B, it was B2C, and it was just all around fun. And of course, the unexpected came, and we all had to, pivot. And so for us, this is our way of pivoting. We really make sure that we provide the resources and the tools and the trainings and the opportunities for counseling all year long. We realize how hard you work, how efficient you need to be. We realize that your time is, 25 hours and 8 days a week. We realize that. And, even now, so the amount of resiliency that we've seen within our small business owners and our small business community over the past year, we absolutely want to continue to celebrate that. We want to showcase that. And we want to continue to not only provide you the tools and the resources and the training that you need, but the opportunities for exposure as well. And so, I really, really commend those of you that have decided to take your business onto a virtual platform, because this is where we are right now. And if you were with us earlier in the week, then you probably heard all of us say networking is key. Put yourself out there, get to know your community, get to know what your resources are, find out what your opportunities might be, and then connect with someone or an organization, maybe California Capital, it could be a local resource partner, to find out how to further engage with buyers and business owners such as, Sacramento Airport or Marshall Retail Group. And so my bet is you're going to learn a lot today. And thank you for being here. Thank you, Suyi and my team, for putting this together. Thank you to all of our panelists for being here to share information, both the buyers and small business owners. This is a really valuable experience. So thank you all for being here. And I hope that you enjoy today's event, today's marketplace. Thank you.
Thanks, Sophia. Since this is the first time that we're doing this, hosting this virtual marketplace, we actually had no idea how it was going to turn out. It's our pilot project, and so hopefully we can repeat it next year and highlight more vendors. And so in our call out for vendors, we have actually received some very interesting video submission, which I will try to highlight all of them, depending on time, if there's any time left in our session. But I would like to call out those folks that have taken the time to put together a video and submit it to us. A Seat at the Table Books. It's an online bookstore that is in the process of opening a family-friendly bookstore cafe in Outgrove. Then there is also the Aporia International, an e-commerce retailer of sustainable and compostable product, the owner of which is Kathy Song. And we also have Designs Notary Services, or notary loan signing service based in Greater Sacramento, serving the real estate and commercial loan signings services. And last but not least, we have Evolution of a Black Butterfly, a development organization that helps individuals deal with grief and loss, and is selling a line of apparel with a positive image of "it is okay not to be okay." I think we heard quite a bit of that lately with the golf, with the tennis tournament, and just the type of experiences that we have been going through in the last year or so. And like I said, actually, before we get going, by inviting Marshall Retail Group, I would like to take the opportunity to maybe play a couple of them, and then we'll have Marshall Retail Group present for us. I actually like this particular product in particular just because it's compostable and I like going green. And so, you know, pardon my bias.
Composting is very important to me. I love that my food waste, when you compost them, it becomes a black gold. But these flat top liners, it frustrates me. It doesn't stay. It's not user friendly. And when you take out the garbage, oh my goodness, no handle. So I come up with this made of corn, BPI certified t-shirt type that comes with the handle. It's easy to take out. Even children, they can do this chore for you. Yes, it's made of corn. So it's very soft and smells like popcorn when you open the box. And it's very strong too. It's hard to believe it's not made of petroleum. Easy peasy garbage management.
So,
Again, this is made of corn, not of plastic.
so I like the video in the sense that it always puts a smile on my face when I watch it. And it's also the fact that it's green and it's short and it's really sweet. I also wanted to invite everybody who's on the call today who didn't get a chance to submit the video, and that you are here for a reason. And if you're here to wonder if there's any opportunity for you at the airport or selling at the airport, this is your opportunity to type, to introduce yourself by using the chat box or the Q&A box, and just introduce yourself, tell us what kind of business you're in and what you're hoping to do. And I'm gonna save all the messages that are typed in the chat box today and reach out to you individually after the fact and connect with you to see how we can help you expand your market channel. And without further ado, I would actually like to invite Mary Vigil, District Manager of Marshall Retail Group, to tell us more about how do you become a concessionaire vendor to one of those specialty retailer at the airport. Mary?
Hi, everyone. Please excuse my backdrop. I'm in the beautiful stockroom here in San Francisco Airport. Can you hear me okay? Because on my screen, it's showing that my bandwidth is low. So I can turn off the video if that helps with the sound. Can you hear me okay? Yes? Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure. Sometimes when you're in these large airports, sometimes the internet's not 100%. So I'm excited to share with you Marshall Retail Group. I've been with Marshall Retail Group for just over a couple of years, but I have had the pleasure of working for many retailers over the past 30 years at a multi-store capacity. And joining me today on the call is Melanie Pacoma, and she's our buyer, and she buys gifts and candy and all kinds of other great things for our stores at Marshall Retail Group. But first, I wanted to just share with you, I'm based in Sacramento, so I am local, and I'll recap at the end and I'll give you my information if there's any small businesses that would be interested in talking with you. But I am a local gal, so Rockland, and so I'm right here with all of Sacramento folks. But I wanted to share a little bit about Marshall Retail Group. We're a very unique company. We are pioneers from the very beginning. We started in 1955, and the cool thing about our company is it started with a husband, wife, actually two friends and their wives, and they started a cashmere sweater business, and that is what they started in. It was called Sarah's, and it was in the Sahara Casino in Las Vegas, and it expanded. The growth was so successful, we ended up expanding into the McCarran Airport, and now today we operate in over 300 stores with over $352 million. Our primary businesses are in casinos, resorts, and airports. We have everything from women's, men's fashion. We have luggage. We have beauty, personal care, sundry, electronics. We sell bulk candy. We sell gifts. We have Lego stores. We have jewelry. We carry shoes, and we carry accessories, and a significant amount of logo merchandise, both hard lines and soft lines. So we really kind of operate in pretty much every category, in every arena of retail. And we are experiencing significant growth. Unlike brick and mortar stores that are really impacted by Amazon and online, we are at the airports and casinos where we have a huge active audience. And so travel retail is really growing at this point in comparison to your traditional brick and mortar. Okay, we'll go ahead and go on to the next slide. Thank you. Okay, so our stores and our brands in Sacramento, we actually have up to 4 locations. Currently 2 of them are open. We have a store called At Ease, and At Ease sells really just kind of comfortable travel for comfortable travel apparel, both for men and women. If you can imagine, when you're on an airplane, you want to be warm, you want to be comfortable, you want to be, so whether it's sweats or it's t-shirts or it's sweatshirts, we carry everything you need, as well as handbags and tote bags and jewelry and fun gifts. So that pretty much sums up At Ease. We do have a side-by-side store, and I'll move on to the next slide. So we have At Ease, and then we also have a store. So it's a side-by-side with Pop Socks. And these stores opened, actually, if you want to go back to the last slide for a second, with these stores, we opened in 2019, but Pop Socks and At Ease is a side-by-side store, and you can see it has a really unique entrance. It's very compelling to the customer. Go to the Pop Socks slide. I'm sorry. There we go. So you can see our stores are really interesting, very inviting to the customer, very bright and colorful. We play really fun music as well. So we really try to create unique experiences for the customers as they're coming through the airport. We hire the very best employees to be able to speak to the different products. We provide them product knowledge and really try to provide an elevated experience at the airport. And as I mentioned, we carried both designer and logo merchandise, market right product, as well as we also try to make sure that we have seasonally appropriate merchandise for the season that we're covering, because we all know that Sacramento gets super hot in the summertime, and then we're also very cold in the winter. So we want to make sure our product fits that customer profile. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. The first vendor I was going to highlight is Socksmith. And so Socksmith, I don't know if you all know, but it came from Santa Cruz. They started in 1988 as a very small brand, and they've really expanded. Socksmith can be found in many, many retailers now, but we have really highlighted them at Marshall Retail Group. They carry very whimsical. One of their sayings is "no boring socks," so it's no BS. So kind of a fun tagline on that. But it was started as a couple, and they've expanded. There's 3 people that own this business now. And again, it's in Santa Cruz, and they focus on self-expression. All the socks are designed with love. And I love the fact that it's from Santa Cruz, so a local vendor. You could go ahead and go to the next slide. This just tells a little bit about the Socksmith story. What they were founded on the principle of self-expression, true beauty. So they work really hard on the specific designs and make sure that they are seasonally appropriate, as well as relevant to what's going on in the world today. So a lot of great socks. So if you want to go to the next slide, I wanted to share with you, this is actually in District Market, which is in San Francisco. Really proud of this. This is a way we distorted a vendor, so you can see how powerful this was. We sold, thousands of dollars every single week of these socks. This was actually set up in November of last year, and we'll be setting it up again this November. So if you're in San Francisco, please make sure you come by, as well as we carry these socks in our Pop Sock stores. But you can see everything from men's to women's socks to kids socks. And on the next slide, I'll show you, we also incorporated on the middle shelf there, matching masks. So you could have a sock and a mask to match during the pandemic. So I thought that was really fun to share, just to make the business relevant during this difficult time for all of us. Okay, go ahead and go to the next slide. So now we are in Sacramento. This is the Well. District Market was the store I showed you right before with the socks. This is the Well. The Well is based in Sacramento, Terminal A. We opened in 2019. This is the number 4 store in the company. We sell everything from food to sundries. Sundries are a large part of our business because, as you know, when you're going to the airport, you want to have food and drinks to be able to have a comfortable travel to the next location. So we carry sundries, we carry local foods, We carry logo merchandise, gifts, electronics, sports, license merchandise, books, and magazines. So we pretty much carry everything that you need for travel. And the well was opened up. It has a really fun concept. We actually, if you bring your container, as you know, you can't bring liquid through the airport, but if you bring your vessel, we will help you fill it up with some sparkling flavored water there at the airport. And it's only $1.99 for fill up. So a really great value. Okay, I'll go ahead and go to the next. And I did see that John Jew, the owner of Truthful Kernel Popcorn, is on this call. So I'm very happy and excited to feature Truthful. Comes in 3 flavors. And this is a partnership. We've been carrying this product for, I think, about 8 months in the airport. We also expanded it to San Francisco. So we're really excited about Truthful Popcorn. It's a great product. Comes in 3 flavors, and this is made in Sacramento, so Sacramento owned. So very proud of this business. This was a referral from Andrew in our concessions at Sacramento Airport. He made the connection, and here we are selling this great product in Sacramento. Go ahead and go to the next slide. And I pulled this. One of the secret ingredients that makes this product unique is that they use the grapeseed oil from Napa. So as you can see, it's cold pressed, and they have a unique formula to create this product. We are getting multiple orders of Truthful Popcorn. You can see this is a presentation in Sacramento at the airport. And so one of the things that I was really excited to hear about, my general manager shared that the popcorn, a vendor or came in, someone who owned a business out of state, came in, tried the popcorn, and then took it home back to their state, and then ended up placing an order with John. So I was really excited to see that expansion, not only in California, but multi-states. So congratulations to John and to Truthful Popcorn. Okay, so just another way in terms of expression. And we get thousands of people that walk through the airport. I also wanted to highlight Marriage. This is a wonderful chocolate brand. The presentation is actually at District Market that you can see, which is in San Francisco. But we brought this vendor in about a year ago, and it's now moved to our #1 vendor in chocolate. It is from the Netherlands. It's a wonderful product, European ingredients, but also too, it's based, their home base is in Hollister, which is down in the Central Valley as well. All of the nuts and fruit come from the Central Valley. So a wonderful local vendor with beautiful presentations and great sales. And then the last vendor I wanted to feature was also, this is Nectar, which is based out of Petaluma. And we actually, these are the essential oils we carry in Sacramento. It's called Breathe Me. And you can see all the different things, reduces your stress, makes you feel better, helps you keep calm, wonderful things before you travel on the airplane. So Nectar is a woman-owned company, and it's based in Petaluma. And we have a nice distribution of this, and Melanie is our buyer, of course, for this. And that's part of our gift collection. Okay, so next, our focus at Marshall Retail Group is to create unique experiences, not only in how we engage with our customer, but how the product assortment that we carry. Our customers, as you all know, sometimes you have layovers at the airport and you have to spend an hour or 2 or sometimes 3 in the airport. And so we want to create, have a unique assortment of product that really speaks to the customer that maybe they can't find in other places. And that's really where the focus on local product comes in. People like to buy both personal size as well as giftable sizes that they can bring to the person that they're visiting on the other side. So local gifts, local personal care. So we carry a lot of lotions and soaps and things like that, because our customers also like to bring those in from the airport to their hotels. We also, anything that's comfortable. So for blankets, we carry blankets, pillows, sweatshirts, everything to make them comfortable on their flights, as well as seasonal merchandise. We do a great business in holiday merchandise, especially during the gift giving season. So the benefits of selling at Marshall Retail Group, in San Francisco, you might have 10,000 impressions in a day. In Sacramento, you might have 8,000 people walking through the airport. So a lot of impressions. So great exposure for small local businesses, a great way to get your name out there. In addition, our airport employees, we have a significant amount of airport employees, both with TSA as well as employees that are on our payroll as well. So they also get the word out about these local brands. Of course, the airport executive team, as well as other business travelers that come through. And it's just a great way to expand your brand. We did have one vendor from Citrus Heights that we were carrying I think it was a brittle, and they were actually able to come in and sample the brittle and meet with the customers. And so we sold through 100% of their inventory. So that was also another great way to meet the customer and really get feedback on your product. Okay, and then in terms of procurement and how we set up, I don't know if there may be some questions that you all may have, but some of the things that we require in order to bring your product in is everything has to have a quality control, UPC. For food, everything has to have dates in terms of expiration, as well as ingredients. Packaging guidelines that meet the state guidelines, as well as pricing that is relevant to sell at the airport. We also, of course, with our demand, and you can imagine with the number of people that we have that come through our airport, also the ability to produce enough inventory to keep us in stock so we can keep your product relevant. Your distribution, the ability to ship to the airport, all of those have to be considerations. As well as we do require that you have your business license, a W-9 tax form. There's a vendor compliance tool that we have, as well as specific payment requirements. So all of those are considerations when choosing vendors. So if we could just turn to the next slide. That is our address. I am local in Sacramento, and I apologize about the typo there. It's not leaning. We look forward to learning about your product, not leaning about your product. So I am local, and feel free to come visit us in Terminal A in Sacramento Airport. My phone number, I can give you my information. It's 916-741-9188. Or it's mvigo at Marshall Retail Group. So feel free to email me if you have any questions, and I'd be more than happy to get your information to the correct buyer or to the correct planner to see if we could bring your brand in to our airports. Melanie, do you have anything else to add?
As far as procurement, I really rely on, because we have so many departments and product that we look at every day. I love relying on, anybody going to Mary. There have been a few vendors that I've started to carry in District Market that went to the store and gave their information to the store. So that helps us, and just having collections. Like good collections, so that it's not something that's alone on a shelf and doesn't sit with anything else. And that's what I look for, as far as bringing product in. I agree with everything else that Mary said.
Thanks, Melanie. I have a quick question. What are you procuring right now for the upcoming holiday season, or is it too late to get in the door?
At the moment, all of our holiday is hitting in the stores that I have them in, is hitting next week. So usually I like getting them around September, just so I can start, setting vendors up and adding them, bringing in orders, setting them up in our system, looking, having the time to look at their product to make sure everything sits well together.
Understood. So what would you be buying after the holiday season, or what are you currently looking for if there's any product that you're currently seeking?
So for myself, I do a lot of the skincare, apothecary, candles, anything non-logoed, like accessories, like pouches, tote bags, I'm all over the place. We do a lot of kitschy items that are fun. But yeah, just anything giftable, plush too, and toys. Yeah.
I know for a fact that we definitely work with a lot of small businesses that are manufacturers in their own way, crafts and gift items and whatnot. And this is one of the reasons that, we are putting this show together today. And Marshall Retail Group is one of the major boutique retailer that's occupying a retail space in the airport. And in order for vendors to become a vendor to boutique retailers, sometimes it's important for them to be certified as a minority or disadvantaged business enterprise, because there is a spend category that has to be met by boutique retailers. And for our next speakers, I would like to invite Renata Dar from Sacramento Airport to talk about, what kind of economic development activities taking place at the airport. Renata?
Hello, everyone. Just wondering if the slides are going to go up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lauren
Okay.
is putting that on right now.
Okay, there we go. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very excited to see all the participation and hear the success stories that we've had with some independent suppliers. So first off, my name is Renata Dare. I am with the Sacramento County Department of Airports, and I am in the concessions department, but also I am the ACDB liaison officer for the ACDB program, which I will get into. You could advance. Okay, you can go one more. Okay, so what is the ACDBE program? It's basically defined as a for-profit business at the airport that sells directly to the public, the traveling public. And we are required, the FAA requires that we have a program where we strive to include small businesses and ACDBE certified businesses. Now, there are a lot of businesses that are minority owned or women owned that are not certified, and PTAC can help you with the certification process, and then that can help assist you get you into the airport environment. So currently our goal is 4.6%, and that is for the concessions, anything that's non-car rental related. We met that the last fiscal year and exceeded it. What we achieved was 7.58%. So that was good. Our goal is 4.6, and we surpassed that. For car rentals, so the way that the car rental, which may not apply, but depending on what your product is, it could be office supplies, it could be anything that the car rental company uses in support of their operation. Car washing, soaps, there's special tools that they use, anything that they would utilize in their operation if they're supplying it and the supplier is ACDBE certified, then that would count towards that goal. This year we did not meet our goal. Our goal was 10.19%, and we achieved 2.10. We believe that was due to COVID. A lot of, there wasn't a lot of traveling public, and thus not a lot of car rentals. So they didn't have the need for as many supplies. And you can advance. So our strategy for meeting our goal is a race neutral stance. So we don't require a specific criteria for the small business or for any of our businesses that they have to be a certain percentage of Hispanic owned or African American, but we feel that we can meet our goals with the race neutral approach. And what that means is that we conduct outreach and we try to engage the small business community as a whole and allow them to bid on the opportunities that are available. If it was race conscious, then we would have to put a specific goal in each bid, in each agreement, and then strictly monitor that and enforce the participation. So far, we have been able to meet our goals with the race neutral approach. And so then that's what the county as a whole has adopted. You can advance. There's a lot of opportunities at the airport. Not just, well, we have the retail, we have restaurants, we also have vending machines, advertising, and there's a lot of different ways you can get involved. You can have a direct lease with us, or you can be a subleasee of an existing concessionaire, or you could be a supplier. And there's many products that are used in the operations. So there's a lot of ways to be involved. Yes. So here's just kind of a snapshot of our current retail activity and what our agreements are, like when they're set to expire. Usually our agreements are pretty long. They're at least 5 years. And that can be a little daunting for a small business to get into, because they have to wait for the expiration or the term to expire on an existing space in order to get involved. And so by then you might have forgotten about the airport. But this just kind of gives you an idea of when these terms are expiring. We are also, because of COVID, we are going to probably be extending a lot of our agreements just so that we don't have to release a request for proposal. We don't feel like we would get a lot of feedback, a lot of proposals returned, and then there's a capital investment. And so for many of our spaces, we will be extending them, but also we'll have some opportunities because some retailers and, well, concessionaires more, I mean the restaurants are going to be releasing some space. So this may be a really good time for a small business to come in and with low capital, because the storefront or the restaurant front, I should say the restaurant front, is already there. The equipment or the counters and things like that are already installed. And if they could come in and utilize the existing space, then it may not take as much to turn it over for their operation. You can advance, please. This is just more of the, this is the food and beverage locations, and it just tells you the expiration dates. The asterisk marked ones are being extended, but also a number of spaces have been returned. And 2 spaces I'm going to be going through in the next few slides in detail of what we'll have available. Okay, so here we go. So, oh, this kind of got messed up, but these 2 are actually right next to each other, these 2 spaces. And we would be looking for a single operator because the shared kitchen. We can advance. Okay, so this these 2 spaces, what we're looking for in one of the spaces is a quick service restaurant, maybe minimal kitchen, need to cook, but prepackaged, or prior to COVID, there was like a panini. They made panini. They had like a little panini machine, and they would make like bagels and sandwiches, and it was a coffee shop. The other space is a full service bar with a casual restaurant as part of it. And so what we would want for those 2 locations is 1 operator because of the shared kitchen, and then breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And this is pre-security. So it's before you go through the checkpoint. It's in Terminal B at the top of the escalators, and before you get on the tram to go over to the security checkpoint. We can advance. So the next few slides are just going to be visuals of the space. And we have not decided when this request for proposal will go out, but it is right now it's closed. And so we're really looking to fill it as soon as we can. So these are just the different, so this is like kind of the existing features. You can tell that it wouldn't take a whole lot to start operating. There'd be some signage change outs, but it would take, of all our spaces, it would take less capital to get into this space. But also with that, our agreement terms would be shorter. We'd like to realign it with the rest of the restaurant space, food and beverage space that is expiring in 2026. So we would look for an agreement to go from like 2022 to 2026. So here's the kitchen space. It is shared. This exit sign over this doorway right here, this shows like kind of the pathway between the two kitchens. And this one has the grill. So one side has like the grill portion, the other side doesn't have as much. So that's why we would want one operator for both spaces. This is the other space, which was the Gateway Bar. This would be the full service restaurant and bar. I shouldn't say full service restaurant, the fast casual restaurant, and then a full service bar. And again, the kitchen area. So that was the end of our restaurant spaces that are going to be available in the very, very near future. I'll go over the rental car operations and opportunities there. So the types of vendors that they look for are like specialty car washing, detailing services. If you have a unique product, one of the things that I hear from the rental car group is that they're having a hard time with removing certain smells, marijuana specifically. And I know they've asked me to, whenever I've done outreach, if any suppliers have a unique product that helps with that. They are having that's one of the challenges right now. Glass repair, transport, and janitorial. So this is kind of like the timeline for development. So we'll put out an RFP, and then there's a process where we receive responses, we evaluate them, and then we make our recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. They approve it, and then it's awarded. And then once it's awarded, we have a kind of a base contract, but that's when the negotiation happens. If there's specific things that we want to change or reevaluate, that's when we would do that. Also, the construction plan. So normally, when we have an RFP for food and beverage or retail, the whole space will have to be completely redeveloped or constructed. So this is when the plans for that would be submitted to us. If there's permitting, electrical, water, and anything like that that requires a permit, then that's the construction plan review. And then once everything's approved, permits are issued, then you can start construction. And then approximately, well, these are all like tentative timelines, but then the unit is open. Okay, I've provided the contacts for our retail, food and beverage, and rental car companies, as well as our vending. This is recorded, so I don't know if this will be sent out to everybody, but these are your point of contacts. If you have a specific product that you feel would meet the needs of these companies, reach out to them and see if they would be interested. We post our RFPs, our requests for proposals, on our websites. We also try to notify through posting in the newspaper, our social media, and our partners like PTAC, Chambers of Commerce. And we try to promote what our opportunities are in enough time to get small businesses the opportunity to respond. And that is my contact information. And feel free to reach out to me. And if you have any questions, And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Renata. There is actually a question in the chat. What makes a successful food business in the airport? Is it always kind of grab and go type of foods? From Christopher?
No, it's not. It has moved towards that with COVID, I would say. But a lot of people are coming to the airport earlier, and because the airlines are not offering food or any, sometimes not beverages, people are coming and eating at the airport before. So it can be a mix. It's our sit down restaurants are doing very well. We have a few of them that the challenge is more the hours and the staffing. That seems to be the issue, and it's kind of everywhere. But
I think Christopher was referring to packaged food.
yeah, it doesn't have to be packaged food. I mean, that's great. Some of the retailers have added packaged food to meet the demand since our food and beverage have not been open. But I don't think it's necessarily grab and go for restaurants that make it successful.
Okay, thanks, Renata. I hope that answered Christopher's question. I also see that there's a lot of activity in the chat room. People are exchanging information, trying to collaborate and do business together. And I think that is the purpose of a networking sessions, which we've been doing through the Small Business Working Group. And if you're wondering why should we attend any vendor outreach sessions or Small Business Working Group to meet buyers and whatnot, because it works. And to prove to you that it works, I have 2 testimonials to share from LaKenya Henry, who is the owner of Sugar Coated Cupcake, as well as John Ju, who is the chief popcorn popper with Truthful Canal, who's gonna tell us how it worked out for them through either attending our vendor outreach sessions or just reaching out because you're interested in pursuing an opportunity. You do your research online and, and a few months later, you have your products on the shelf. And I think this is the kind of stories that we hope is going to inspire you to do something, to say, I want to go bigger. I want to go from consumer to business. How do I go about doing that? So between LaKenya or John, who would like to do the first presentation or share the first testimonial?
I'd be happy to go.
All right, John.
Okay.
Yours.
Thank you, Suyi. Yes, I just wanted to, number one, thank California Capital for the tremendous connections and the classes, the resource centers, the consulting, the connections, the vendor outreach programs. Everything that I have been associated with California Capital has been so helpful, and it's been a tremendous learning experience. Still have a lot more learning to do too. And I just wanted to thank California Capital and more precise. I wanted to thank them for the contact with Marshall Retail Group. Suyi, you connected me with them, and it worked out so well that we are currently in the Sacramento Airport as well as San Francisco Airport. And our business has started out just with a couple of cases. We brought in our popcorn, and because what the Well has done and what San Francisco has done, especially Sacramento, they've really grown our business. And all I can say is that to be able to contact and to have this relationship, and thank you, Mary, for your nice words about us and our exposure there too. I appreciate that. And what's happened there is that we are initially in the airport, and our business has grown by just leaps and bounds, and it just started a kernel at a time. And so all I can do is just say, my advice would be to do what you possibly can to get that connection, to do what you have to do to just, start that little conversation and then get in there. And I have a feeling that our business is going to go tremendously well. And what's going to happen there also, and it's already happening, is that, today we've got more deliveries going over to the Sacramento Airport this afternoon, and I'm just seeing exponential growth almost. And we've also gotten emails from many people across the nation saying, your popcorn is absolutely the best. I got to have it. I'm hooked. And I said, and so they visit us on our website and they're ordering there besides going to the airport where they know they can get it. So it's just been a really nice process, work in progress, where it is just really, really going crazy. And I really appreciate everybody's help on this. And so thank you to everyone. And that's all I have to say. I just want to thank everybody.
So John, would your advice be attend as many networking events as you possibly can, and do not be shy in getting your word out there, sharing your information, hounding the buyers if you have to, be persistent?
Yes, I think it's really just getting the connections, the exposure. My working with California Capital has really just mushroomed into further and further connections, because you are so well connected, and I think you have the ability to marry the vendor and the people who are looking for our services together, and you've been a tremendous conduit, and I think that process can work for everybody in so many good ways. So it's all about satisfying the needs of all three of us, the customer, the vendor, the people who are selling our products, as well as what you're doing for us in such a way that it's just been just a real nice synergy between all parties involved.
Yeah, thanks, John. And I would also like to give credit to Renata and the airport folks for being consistent supporter of our small business working group, where we actually bring together buyers and small businesses to connect them to the opportunities. And Renata has been speaking numerous times at our small business working group. And if you have not attended any one of them, I suggest that you look out for more future events, as we plan on bringing more buyers of different industries to connect our small business with potential opportunity. And LaKenya has a very interesting story to share, and I think her ears popped up a little bit when Renata talked about vending opportunities. And LaKenya, although she didn't learn about the airport opportunities through our small business working group, but she did her research. LaKenya?
That's true. It was kind of one of those, I was digging into finding a place, and let me start all over. My name is LaKenya Henry. I am co-owner, co-founder of Sugar Coated Cupcakes. I operate this business with my daughter. We've been in business now for 2.5 years, and we're based here in Elk Grove, servicing basically throughout Sacramento and to the Bay Area as well. And our phrase that pays that I always say is that we sugarcoat everything. So it's our gourmet cupcakes and macarons that we're known for, and our fun flavor profiles that we do. And by fun flavor profiles, I always say, go check out our chicken and waffle cupcake. It's pretty cool to see. But as Suyi said, I actually was in the process of looking for a storefront or a kiosk space. And that's how I reached out to Renata and team to find a space at the airport. I'll say this, the reason why I found them too was my husband actually is an employee at Southwest Airlines. And so I'm like, hey, you need to get the numbers for these people so I can figure out who they are. So I had him doing some research for me too as well. But I missed the class that was offered, and I actually do believe that I wish I would have actually attended because it sounds like there was so much great information, and it would have, probably made my workload a little bit easier in terms of finally connecting with Suyi and Renata and the airport team. But nonetheless, it's been it was a great experience, a great learning experience for us in terms of being there and being present in the airport. One of the things that we are big on is operating through and utilizing our social media. So one of the things that we actually did to help us even gain additional exposure is that we tagged our boxes of cupcakes there at the travel whale store with QR codes, so that anyone flying out, we asked them where they were flying, and so that they could take a picture of themselves with our cupcakes, and or wherever they were attending in terms of their final destination. So it actually definitely brought us greater exposure, because now it's not just our Sacramento or Bay Area based customers, right? We have customers that are traveling through Terminal B and flying all over the country. So that was great exposure. And the main question that we've been getting is, do you ship? Well, right now shipping is just not, as we all know, is not great. So we haven't worked our way towards making that happen just yet. But nonetheless, I think that feedback and advice is definitely be diligent, do your due diligence, do your research. You ask questions, because you just never know. And literally it was me asking the question and reaching out and getting the answer. And that's how that connection was made. And so, I'm definitely thankful. And although I didn't meet Sugi until after the process has started, I still feel like, definitely take full advantage of the services that California Capital is offering, and learnings and trainings, and, really to help you build your business, and, put you in a position you in a stronger place too, as well, for growth too, as well. So thank you again, Sugi and Renata.
No problem. Thanks a lot for sharing. Look, Renata, just so you know, Kenya is interested in vending opportunities at the airport, especially for folks that are flying after hours and all the stores are closed and they have a hangry pang.
Yes.
I think that's where the cupcake is going to come in handy, and I'm sure she's going to reach out to you.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. In the
Absolutely.
chat boxes, we've kind of exchanged some info. So I look forward to your email and setting up something for next week.
Absolutely. What Suyi was referring to is that we have 2 vending machines, cupcake vending machines, that are just about complete and finished and as cute as a button. And we're looking to, definitely place those in places that will definitely have high foot traffic, because, we package everything, grab and go. So, it's completely easy to carry and easy to take a quick bite. As you said, some of the places close early. And as you mentioned earlier, staffing causes some of the places to close earlier too. So makes it a little bit easier.
And one of the challenges, one of our vendors, Propango, they have a relationship with Sprinkles Cupcakes, and they said that the reason why they couldn't bring them to Sacramento was that the kitchen for Sprinkles was too far. It was, I think, in the Bay Area. So they have them in Las Vegas. So,
they have them
in the Vegas airport. And so when we had talked about that, they said that they couldn't do it at this time because Sprinkles didn't have a dedicated kitchen in this area. So so it's definitely a product that we've been looking at. And so this might be a great fit.
Thank you. I'll talk with you next week.
Yeah.
And I think we just sealed another deal, vendor outreach sessions, which is great. And we'd like to create more of those opportunities. And at this point, I would like to open the floor to the attendees who would have any questions to the buyer or the airport. And Lauren, are we able to unmute the mic of those who would like to ask questions?
Yeah, we can do that. If folks use the raise hand option, we can unmute them and give them a chance to ask.
All right. And Lauren, feel free to unmute them in the order in which they appear to let them ask the questions.
So Farron Johnson, I saw that you raised your hand, so you can go ahead.
Oh, hello. You guys answered. First of all, my name is Farron Johnson. I am the owner and CEO of Evolution of a Black Butterfly LLC, and It's Okay to Not Be Okay Apparel. I didn't necessarily have a question. I just want to thank you for this opportunity to just be a part of this great event. And you guys have actually answered a lot of the questions already, but I just wanted to say hello and thank you so much.
Aaron, we're gonna play your video. I was gonna get to that. And so since we have some time, let's go ahead and do that.
Thank you.
Farron has a very positive message in her products, and we'll let you hear about it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Farron Johnson. I am the founder and CEO of Evolution of a Black Butterfly LLC, and It's Okay to Not Be Okay Apparel. We are in the trademark process. Excuse me. EVB is a development agency for people who have experienced grief. We are located in the Sacramento area, and we service the world. Well, our hope is to service the world. We provide tips and tools for our clients, as well as an apparel line. So It's Okay to Not Be Okay apparel. We want to end the stigma on mental health. We want people to know that it's okay to not be okay, but giving up is not an option. We provide stationery, journals, gratitude journals, affirmation journals, t-shirts, mugs, you name it, we got it. We are having a holiday special where we are going to be offering dish towels, and pot holders. That's it. It's okay to not be okay. We are also offering a brand new gratitude journal that's going to be launching, and a book about imposter syndrome and how to work through that. I look forward to meeting with you all, and thank you for your time.
I think I'm gonna get that book, How to Overcome Imposter Syndrome, because I think I struggle with it to this date. Thanks, Farron. I think we have one more hand raised.
Yes, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Hi, my name is Tahira Talabdeen, and I'm the founder of Hearts Connecting LLC. It's a virtual funeral and memorial online facilitation service. We also provide grief recovery workshop for widows who lost their spouses. This question is directed to Renata. You mentioned you do allow for advertising. I'm interested in knowing what is the process of selecting companies to advertise at the airport.
So our advertising right now at the airport is handled through Clear Channel, and I can provide that contact for you, and you would have the agreement with them. We don't have any like direct small business advertising opportunities right now. It is something we've kind of discussed with the local chambers. The Sac Asian Chamber of Commerce is working. They have a space here in Terminal B, and it's on the 3rd floor. And we've discussed maybe having LCD screens within their space where they could promote local small businesses. But on all of our screens, unless they're informational, like they have flight info or safety info, or the TSA regulations displayed, then they're going to be handled through Clear Channel.
And will you put their contact information in the chat, please?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. Is there another hand? There are 2 hands raised. This is the pitching session, people. This is the time for you to pitch your product services to the buyers. This is it. If not, you're going to have to wait till next year, 2022. Get those hands up. Lauren, do we have the next one?
Yeah, we have Valerie Simmons is ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. Just wanted to first say thank you.
We can't hear you, Valerie.
Can you hear me now? Is that any better? No? I'm not sure. I will put it in the chat.
We can't hear you, Valerie.
I think
perhaps you could type your message in the chat.
Yeah, I think Valerie said that's what she's going to do. Her audio is just real quiet.
Okay. I'm gonna call on some folks. I know that there is a small business vendor here who was an ex-aviation employee. Kathy, this is your time. Go ahead, make your pitch.
Hello, everyone. My name's Kathy. So nice. It's my first time, and so nice to hear from other entrepreneur. I'm a newbie in this group, but I always wanted to be the owner of a small business. And then I started my compostable out of my hobby, which is and my huge interest in composting. I think it's a wonderful system. We should do more. So I was frustrated with the flat top, square, very flimsy compost bin liner. So I thought, why don't we put a handle on it? So it could be more easier for people to use and then not frustrated while doing more for the environment. So I come up with this brand, Green Handle US, and I am producing PPI certified compost bin liners / trash bag. And did you know that without the PPI certification, not the other compostable shouldn't be in your compost bin. So I got the certification. It took me 6 months, but I didn't give up. And I finally have my products on hand. If any of the small business owners here want to try my product, I'm willing to send you. So let me know. My email was left in the chat, and I also have interesting product such as Perry bottles and magnetic charging cables. It's because I'm losing money on the green handle, but I want to keep continue. So I come up with other idea to support that idea. So I have a very variety of a product, but it's all for the one cause for the environment. Thank you for the opportunity.
I like the message. We're working towards a greener world or environment for our next generation. If there's anyone else on the call who would like to say something to the buyer, have any questions for us, or in need of any information, contact. We're gonna, give you the next 2 minutes to do so. No? I do have one more question for John and LaKenya. Would you say that the onboarding process was difficult? Well, I guess, John, you can't say that in front of Melanie and Mary, because that would be trouble. But was it a process that you kind of feel that you have to take on in order to get to the end destination, which is to sell the product?
Well, I can say that it was a tremendous help with you, working with you on this one. And you kind of guided me through, what I needed to do as far as getting together with Marshall Retail Group. And you kind of guided me along there. So that's all I can say is it wasn't that difficult at all since you helped me so much.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting the answer. But LaKenya, would you have anything to share?
I was going to say, I didn't go through the same process as John, but I would probably suggest John's process. Not that mine was difficult by any means. It wasn't at all, but it just always is, support, to have that extra support in, establishing things is always great. And so I would definitely suggest that, utilizing where you can any of the resources through SUYI and the California.
Yeah, technical assistance. I think it's really important to have that support to get the technical assistance going in terms of completing paperwork or applying for your DBE certification. We could be a resource as well. Farron, I see that you have your hand raised.
Yes, I also wanted to thank you because ever since you're on my advisor, and ever since I have started working with you, you have helped me to kind of take a look inside myself and maybe put some open some doors that within myself to say, oh, Karen, you can do this. And also take a deeper look to see if this is something really worth me pursuing. And so I just want to thank you for this opportunity and keeping me up to date on different things that are going on with the agency. And so I just really appreciate your awesomeness. Thank you.
Thank you, Farron. I posted a link of the videos that are hosted on our website, and I would recommend, or I would encourage you to share it on your social media, not only to draw traffic to your website, but also to support other businesses in the region. One more hand. And that would be.
I want to add something. I was trying to add the sample agreement, and I put something else there, the draft RFP structure. So just disregard that. I don't think that will make any sense. So I'm going to put the draft. Sorry, I was trying to drag it over and it picked something else up. So just disregard that one.
Okay.
This is it.
And
Okay, are you attaching another file?
Yes.
No? Okay.
But it didn't, it says network disconnect. Maybe I'll just email it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have about 10 minutes, and if there's no more questions, I would like to end the session. I do want to sincerely thank Mary and Melanie for coming through for us. And when we do have our marketplace in person, Mary, since you live in Rockland, I'll definitely extend a personal invitation for you to visit with our vendors. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of cool products coming up. And John, always a pleasure to speak with you and to hear that you are continuing to grow the business and scale. And that's the kind of success stories that make our job worthwhile. And LaKenya, good luck with your vending machine. I can't wait to taste your cupcake on one of my trips out of the airport. Make sure it's in Terminal B. And we do have a final hand raised. And
before, we actually had Valerie Simmons' question come through a little bit ago, so I want to make sure that she gets a chance to get an answer. So she said, I'm curious to know if the airport offers a retail space for a clothing boutique. I am the owner of Queenish, an apparel company currently located in the Solana Mall in Fairfield, California. Our mission is to contribute to a Queenish/Kingish state of mind from the outside in. So clothing boutique opportunities at the airport?
So right now, all of our retail space is occupied, but we may have opportunities in the future. It's mostly our food and beverage space that's being turned over. But so right now we don't, but that could change.
so I think stay in touch and keep attending the informational sessions whenever Sacramento Airport is being represented. And I think definitely build a relationship with Renata. Make sure that she remembers you, and so that when the opportunity does come up, she's gonna contact you first before she goes to anyone else. That's my advice to you, right, Renata?
Where's the mute? I just want to make sure I'm not muted. Yes. So whenever we have like you know, a request for proposals, or we know like we're gonna be looking for something, we do reach out to the contacts we've made. We're trying to streamline that system on our website where you could like put in your email and be notified of any opportunities. But I, you know, keep track of the contacts that I've made over time. And if there's something that pertains to specific companies, then we'll send it out to them, let them know, hey, there's an RFP that's going to be coming out. Be ready. And then we also release it to the general public. You know, it's at the same time we do it, but we do reach out individually if we have those contacts.
Thanks, Renata. Tahira, I think you have a question.
Yes, I do. So I'm fairly new in my business, and this session was just so amazing. It just expanded my scope as to how my business can reach different markets that I never even considered. What would be the best advice you can give to an entrepreneur who is starting out to take advantage of this marketplace, and where does the marketplace fall in the funnel of the California Capital Foundation? Like, when do we meet with you to get onto the marketplace?
I'll have Sarah take that question. Sarah?
My apologies. Can you repeat that, the last part?
Yeah. So when is the right time for an entrepreneur such as myself, or someone starting out, to funnel and to send you? Am I pronouncing your name? I hope if I mispronounce your name, please forgive me. Send ye's lap. When would I meet with her to get my business onto the marketplace for an opportunity such as this?
When would you? Well, I would recommend, are you working with a business counselor already?
I am. I'm working with the amazing Danielle.
Oh gosh, you're in wonderful hands. So in your guys' sessions, you can kind of test the waters and see exactly when you might be ready for the next step. So she could probably speak to that better and help you individually in your session. But gosh, you're in amazing hands with Danielle.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, I just want to reiterate how amazing this experience was to receive today, and just be exposed to how what's available, and seeing everyone else's successes just really inspires me as an entrepreneur, and to know, like, truly the sky is the limit. So I'm really grateful for being exposed to this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And that's the whole point of doing what we do, is to expand your horizon to more than you can ever imagine, and to build that bridge for you to get to the rainbow. And the session wouldn't have been made possible without the participation of Renata, John, LaKenya, Melanie, as well as Mary. So on that note, I don't see that there's any more questions. I would like to thank everybody for their time in participating and attending the session. And I'm gonna put my information in the chat. And if you would like to any follow-up emails or information that you would like more on airport concessionaire, by all means, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to jump on a call with you. And on that note, have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sarah, would you like to introduce tomorrow? I think we're at the end of our Small Business Success Week. What's happening tomorrow?
Yeah, join us tomorrow. It is the last day of our Small Business Success Series, as Suyi just mentioned, and it's the Small Business Awards and Recognition. If you didn't have a chance to submit this year, we still encourage you to attend, so you can, get a taste of what it will look like next year. There are, I think, 6 categories. Which were startup, small business and entrepreneur of the year, veteran owned small business of the year, community engagement champion of the year, sustainable business enterprise of the year, business expansion of the year, small business innovator of the year. So there's and one more, Women's Business Center Facilitator of the Year. So there's several different awards going out tomorrow, and we encourage you to, if anything, join us and applaud, those that are going to receive an award. And so we'd love to see you on with us tomorrow. Tomorrow is 12 p.m. as well. I know the times have toggled between 11 and 12 this week. So tomorrow is 12 to 1:30. The link you use to register for today will also work for tomorrow. We tried to make it easy and have it be the same link for every event this week. So same link that you use today will get you into our Small Business Awards recognition tomorrow.
Thanks, Sarah. All right, on that note, we'll end 2 minutes early. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.
That can be a sliding slope, because sometimes you could have the mechanical, but then it gets affected by weather as well.